Hello, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good morning from Liberia, wherever it is you're joining us from. We here in the old Matadi area where a fire incident has been reported, and you can tell from the crowd here. We're trying to reach to the actual area, but you can see from the smoke fumes and the presence of first responders, onlookers as well. We want to get you to the actual scene and talk to some eyewitnesses as to when did this happen. But you can see from the smoke fumes and fire is still blazing. These guys are still fighting the fire. The smoke is too much, but these guys are doing their best, trying to see what they can do. There are still several other houses around. There is a filling station on the other side. Wow. The smoke is very, very heavy, very thick. Was there somebody inside?
No, nobody inside.
But you talking about somebody who got out?
They saw the fire started. Yeah, at the time she was yelling and she did not see the group because the smoke was too much. So the house was going for us to come outside with help her and pull her outside.
So you guys were able to get her out?
Yes, nobody inside.
But around what time did the fire started?
About 5.
5 this morning?
Yeah.
Almost 6. Almost 6. 5 to 6, yeah. So how many apartments in here?
If you look at it, almost 300 people.
So we've been told that one lady was able to have been saved. She was able to have been rescued. So far, nobody, no casualties reported. We want to go to the side where the National Fire Service is, also trying to quench the fire, but these guys are doing their all. There is still fire blazing in another apartment there, and there is a filling station just at the other end. So we'll get back to what they're doing, but the fire service is present, and people are taking things out of their houses as fire is now raging in this other house here. This is the filling station. The second fire engine has just arrived. So folks, wherever you are, we're in district number 9, precisely somewhere around Central Matadi, that is between Old and New Matadi. Business centers as well have been broken into because the fire is raging at the other end. These guys are doing everything they can do to be able to get that door open. And this firefighter is watching on. Have caught at fire. Right here, it's a filling station. Police have to come here now because the goose from the store that has also caught at fire, they're fighting over the fire servicemen. has been quenched in this other store here. And those guys who had wanted to make away with what they thought were freebies were also stopped. But the fire is still raging on at the back end. So we're following the Liberia National Fire Service to that end where the citizens were doing their best in quenching the fire. So we're somewhere around Old Matadi Estate, between Old and New Matadi, Central Matadi, not around the mosque area, but not too far from KTC. That is where this is currently unfolding. So the fire service now coming to the back end here where there is still fire raging. So the fire started from here, we've been told, from this end, and going all the way to the far end where the filling station is. So this area is Old Matadi, between Old and New Matadi, but this area is still considered as Old Matadi. Not the estate side, but outside of the estate, just some few blocks away from KTC. So this is Old Matadi, VAR Town, before you get to KTC. So ordinary citizens are still trying to quench the fire. So these people have lost not just a home, but a lot of their valuables as well. But thankfully, nobody lost their life, we've been told.
Yeah, George, you're still right.
The fire service after the update, but there is still some fire raging in there. I don't know if they're coming back, but there is still some fire raging here, there, and at the far end there. Okay, so I believe that the firemen and fire stay inside into there. Yeah. So what's your name? So around what time did this happen? Because I'm hearing you talking about how you braved the fire to save someone.
Yeah, one time when I was there, I lived next door. And then by 5:10, no matter how my car, one I tell the smoke. The screening. What the promo. Now, for the smoke. I don't know her name.
Thank you so much. You don't need to know her name, but what you said was great.
How many rooms out? Oh, well, I don't really tell, but it's almost like 3-4 apartments. So far, that thing though.
So there is fire still blazing. So only her you were able to have gotten out.
Yeah, to rescue this woman.
Okay, thank you again. You did something great. But did you people have current at the time when
No current in the community.
Thank you, sir. So there is still fire raging. The fire service will have to be careful of electrical wires that we see. But the police investigators as well as fire service investigators are still around, and there are onlookers from the other side just watching them because their house is just a few meters away. But for these apartments here, this is what it is. There is still the need for the LNFS. Okay, the punching from the other side. But prior to the coming of the firefighters, community dwellers have been doing their bit. Bulk of what is done here in trying to stop the rage of the fire was done by community dwellers, including one gentleman who just explained to us how he did something superhero-like to save another lady's life from a raging fire. That's what we call an ordinary hero. He didn't know her name, but he needed not to know her name to save her from what would have been a very, very painful and tragic end. But the firefighters, they're still on the other side, and they're trying to bring all this to an end. Whatever the end is, there is one end for sure. These people have lost their homes, and they've also lost valuables as well. But one thing we can all be grateful to say is that nobody lost his or her life, we've been told. Others are taking out their valuables. They've got the chance to do so, and this is the adjoining house. There is fire still inside, but they have the chance to bring out their valuables, unlike those who are unable to. The fire engine is leaving. There is still one here. If they're going to refill their tank, we're still here. But this is far from over, as there are still blazes of fire, one point to the other. So I'm hearing from a police source that the lady who was able to have been rescued needs oxygen. She's currently admitted at the JFK. Community dwellers have said there is no electricity in this area, but as to what caused the fire is still yet to be established. And we're back at the spot where guys were fighting over some items from this shop.
Go ahead, sis. Gentlemen, excuse me. Y'all please come to the one place. Let me go back, please. You, CBM. Please stay here. Stay right here. Nobody should enter here. Family, that go look at the way people do the heaven before. Two of y'all. Nobody should enter here. Nobody wants to nothing for you to place. Nobody should take nothing for you to go place. Why are you treating people like this? Good morning, guys. Let's do what they want to do. You want to do it? Good morning. Oh, la bureau, man.
This is another angle.
Yeah.
Family trying to take their remnants, all of what they've labored for. The extent of the damage is really, really grave, because we are looking at one side, but this is another side. This is Old Matadi, Far Town community, just before you get to KTC. Whoa, this is serious.
Oh, yeah.
escape. This is what remains of their belongings. An entire family only salvaging what they can salvage now. I also want to speak to some of the affected residents, as this is one apartment, we've been told. This is another. So eyewitnesses and one guy who rescued a lady who's currently admitted at JFK from the fire said this started around somewhere around 5:10, and when he had come home to park his vehicle, he noticed the fire and heard a lady screaming, and he went there to rescue her, and that fire spread all about from an apartment far over there to all of this place, to stores at an adjoining filling station. But thankfully, the community dwellers were able to have quenched the fire to some extent to stop the damage, because there is a filling station just right here with gas, which is highly flammable. That would have been another great disaster. But the community dwellers were able to have done their bit, and now the Liberia National Fire Service is doing their bit. We wanted to talk to some of the occupants of these apartments that have been charred. So this is within the district of newly certificated and inducted Representative Frank Safoko, to be precise, district number 9, Monserrado County, just around Old Matadi Estate. This area is called Old Matadi Town, and we are still yet to see anybody from the office of the representative. But we've spoken to community dwellers, and they said this started around 5:10 a.m. this morning. There was no electricity in this entire community. There has not been electricity for months now due to their transformer blowing off. So they don't have LEC. But whether or not they've got a supplementary power source, we also want to speak to them. But they're all busy now with firefighting duties. But let's see if we can speak to another gentleman who has been there from the onset. So this is one of the victims. Sorry, man. We're sorry for what happened.
You just have to. Nah, where's the food?
She's still crying. Firstly, we are sorry for your loss.
Which
Online TV. We're family. Man, sorry for what happened to you. But can you remember how you were able to get out this morning?
I woke up around 5. I went in the bathroom, I used the bathroom. Later on, I went by a ladder and I chose to sleep. I'm sleeping. I only heard the person to Monica, pull you in the labor outside. Only I and my son were inside my main wing for wedding. She said, pull you in the labor outside. When we jump up and see my heart cut, I couldn't find the door. I in the labor chair fighting. Now we open the living room door, go in the kitchen. We try how the door said stop on us. So if anything was going to happen in the kitchen, I and my son were going to. We kept forcing the door. Nobody could come to our rescue. And I lay for. We force it. I hang here and we jump outside. I just keep outside naked. My body was shivering. I couldn't enter the hospital to pick up a thing. The only thing I came outside was my door key. The door key was just in my hand. I didn't even know. And I fell off the house one day by the name of Sata. I had to go close for me.
Well, do you have any idea on what caused the fire?
The fire, I don't know, but it came from the back because all the lights. I don't know where the fire came from, but when we came outside, we saw the fire from the bathroom.
Where is your son currently? Okay.
How many bedrooms was your house?
A lot of people listening and watching right now, what do you have to say? When you lose things as such, a lot of people want to help you out. How do they get to you, man?
By my contact, I can.
Please give your contact out and do it slowly, please. Just do it slowly so they can hear.
077 24 28 70. My loan star is 0880-840986.
Okay, so she's asking all those who can come to her aid. She lost everything, but she didn't lose her son and her life, but every other thing valuable in her house she lost to this fire. So her school document and all of those things, man, you got life. Good thing that you can get them back. Sorry again, yeah. And her son herself did well. That's one of the many victims again. So says Monica, before we go, Spoon TV, want you to just read out your number once again.
077 24 28 70 and 0880-840986.
Alright folks, so if you've got a heart of gold out there, you can help her to at least get some items back, if not material things, but a place to stay until all of this can be resolved. Her story as to how she was rescued is one that is more like what happens in a movie. She and her son had to fight to come outside, and she came outside with nothing on. But thankfully, she's still alive. Her son is alive, and everything else they've lost. So this is Old Matadi, Fartown Community, District number 9, Montserrado County. This is where we are. Where several apartments have been burnt down to this. Folks, the number of the lady we spoke to, Sis Monica Snare, has been pinned on the live stream. So for those of you who wanting to help her, this is what remains of her apartment. Hello, Mama. Sorry for your loss again. Which one was your apartment? Or which one is this one? So how did you come out? How many were you? How many of you were in your 3? And nobody sustained any injuries? Okay. What's your name? Patience? Okay. Alright, so what's next for you now in terms of, I know it's still early, you're still thinking, you're still trying to gather yourself, but a lot of people also listening and watching. I firstly want to know what's next for you, you know, having gone through all of this. We know how the country is.
The country is hard, no foreign, no electricity, we right know what the fire tonight.
So what do you want to say to all those watching and listening?
We want your help, we want you to come help us. People lost most of our things. We want place to stay. When I feel me a place, we know we're ready for you to stay and we want your help.
When you said 3 of you, did you have kids with you or 3 adults? Alright, your name again?
I say I'm Patience.
Patience here. Our Patience would like you to also give us your number, those who want to help out. What do you say? Okay, folks, this is where we leave it. This is where we leave it. The fire service have done their bit, but community dwellers are still doing what they can do to quench the remaining blaze of the fire here. They started all of this and they are ending all of that. So this is the son of Sis Monica, right? Okay, so this is the boy that Sis Monica was able to have escaped from the blazing house with. How old are you, sir? You're 10. Okay, thank you so much. All right. So you help your mom for you guys to come out? That's brave of you, yeah? Your name? Ilton? Hilton. Okay. What class are you? Third grade. You're a smart and a strong third grader, yeah? Thank you. Thank you for what you did. Third grade, Hilton. 10 years. And he also helped to get his mother out of this blazing house. Alright folks, thank you for watching. The numbers of two of the victims who've lost all of their belongings. We've posted their numbers as well. So thank you for watching, and this is where we end all of this. We'll also be trying to reach out to the office of the newly elected and certificated District Number 9 Representative, Honorable Frank Safoko, as to what his office will be doing just days after he was certificated and inducted as a representative. This is his first official major challenge in his district, tending to the needs of these people who've not only lost their homes but also their valuables as well. As to what will the representative be doing, and the National Disaster Management team, what they will be doing as well, we will be waiting and looking forward to seeing that. My name is Diamond Slanger from Not a So Happy Scene to begin a very long weekend in Liberia. This is how the weekend has started for these people. Have yourselves a wonderful time. Thank you for watching. For those of you who are willing to help, the numbers of the victims are there for you to do so. Thank you for watching as well. This is how we wrap it up from Old Matadi, Town Community. Bye-bye.